property management, it means some solutions are patented. Altogether, then it is integrated in agreement or with correlation with demands of our customers. The first one, it is a thick film technology department, which is controlled by Radka Lenka. Then it is a traceability.
Where are the possible ways for cooperation? And as well, after my presentation, I will be here, so I will be glad if you would see any space for cooperation either with the association itself or its members, which will be presented at least slightly. Please just approach me.
Microdose is a technique used to determine the chemical composition of the extracellular space of the tissue. So this reminds me, I started back here in 1985, so I've been working with the technique for a very long time. There were several papers before then. In fact, the first papers were in around 1973, but there were very few papers up until this period. And this was really a research technique used by neurochemists for a very long time. But as you can see, around about the early or the mid-1990s, it started to get clinical interest. And in fact, this clinical interest is by putting one of these hollow fibres between an inlet line and an outlet line. You apply a solution, and where that solution enters the hollow fibre, a concentration gradient exists, and then substances that are able to pass over, we'll carry on a couple now, keep going, and another one, and another one, and another one, and one more. Thank you. So what you can see is as the solution moves around, it collects or recovers substances from the environment, and so this can then be externalised. Or we can in fact apply the device into the cell bodies and look at the chemistry in the cell bodies. And a couple more, please. Next one and the next one. And of course it's possible to do both. And it's possible to do both. Actually apply drugs in this and see how that affects the release of the neurotransmitters in the brain.
Kilohertz area. For these purposes, we stand in front of the task to
cooperating hospital in Moravský Beroun. First, I would like to ask you to put 10 to the -7, 10 to the -8 moles per liter, which correspondingly allow limit of detection. We can detect broad spectrum of electrochemically active analytes. Running and investment costs are much lower than investment costs for, let's say, MS or fluorimetric detection, etc. What is important, molecule of an analyte is a direct source of signal, so that there is nothing such complicated like excitation of molecule, emitting of photons and converting the photons to flux of electrons.
Production, it is a wire of platinum which is melted in the glass, and then it is quite complicated and expensive. For example, the typical price is from 100 to up to sometimes up to $600–700 US dollars or euro. We combine it, the system technology, and here you can see one example, and then the price can be approximately about 10 euro. And what is the important? Because if you have the classical electrodes, which is such big, then it is quite difficult to use small amounts of biochemicals. You can see. It means it is a main part, it is a basic system with rotating, it rotates from 20 revolutions up to 1050.
Domains such as food safety and quality control, biological analysis, environmental monitoring and medical diagnosis. And the current research is about the improvement of the characteristic of biosensor in terms of
presentations. You have seen the whole workshop because it was prepared from the point of view, environmental point of view, and from the technical point of view. and I hope it will be also interesting for you. What will be the content of the presentation?
So, some special printers. This device is for measurement of thickness of wires with precision about 100 nanometers. Here it is a quite strange device, but it is a for pulling of glass. We can